Hello and welcome back. And when I left, we'd just been talking about the mentor's mantra and the 4 stages of the mentor's mantra and how to use that to facilitate the flow of a mentoring conversation. So now I'm just going to move on to, let's talk about the different types of mentoring. Because there are 2 main fields of mentoring. There's technical mentoring and there's pastoral mentoring. When you're doing technical mentoring, then actually you are using mentoring skills to teach someone a skill or how to do a job, for example. So it's a technical form of mentoring. You know how to, say, change a wheel on a car, and what you're doing is you're using your mentoring skills to train other people how to change wheels on a car. And then there's pastoral mentoring. Now, pastoral mentoring is all about we're interested in holistic needs of our mentees. So actually here we're supporting them with whatever issues they face. We don't have necessarily an agenda for our mentoring sessions. We see whatever problems that they've got and we use our experience to help them. We make suggestions about things they could do, and it might be to do with their home life, it might be to do with their family, it might be to do with their social circle, it might be to do with their work, their education. What we are there to do is we're there to meet their holistic needs. We're there to support them. Now, this is very different from things like counselling and therapy, but what we're trying to do as a pastoral mentor is we're trying to support our mentees with whatever barriers or blocks they're experiencing at that moment in time. Now, either way, there's a number of different ways that we can perform mentoring. It might be that we do planned mentoring, or it could be that we do unplanned mentoring. And there's also some group mentoring we could talk about as well. So planned mentoring is actually, we arrange that we're going to meet our mentee every Tuesday at 2:30, for example. Another form of planned mentoring is actually we're going to do a surgery. So Tuesday afternoon, if you can see me at 3 o'clock and then you can see me at 2 o'clock. And so what we're doing there is almost like a doctor's surgery. So we're giving people timed slots and we just run it all together. Now with unplanned mentoring, there's various different forms unplanned mentoring can take place. So it might be that you do crisis mentoring, and that's where actually your mentees have difficulties, and so you just arrange to mentor them at those times of crisis, as it were. Informal mentoring, so this is where actually you say, where you have the kind of relationship where actually you can just text me or phone me whenever you want to ask me something, then please just get in touch. So this is a more informal relationship. And likewise, the other way of doing unplanned mentoring is that you do a drop-in session. So you say, again, on my Tuesday afternoons, so you say, I'm around on Tuesday afternoon, please, pop in and see me if you want to. And so you've got a segmented of time, maybe it's Thursday lunchtimes from 12 until 2, for example, where actually people can come and see you. And so what you'll find with mentoring, with individual mentoring, is normally at the start of a mentoring relationship, it'll probably start off with maybe weekly or fortnightly mentoring sessions, and that will be in a very planned style. But as you move further and further towards exit from mentoring, then what you'll find is it becomes more unplanned, it becomes more reactive. And when you're thinking about mentoring with groups, and mentoring with groups is amazing because it has a huge impact. Because what you can do is you can do peer mentoring, you can be leading the sessions, and you can have some very collaborative conversations. Now, group mentoring sessions can likewise be planned and unplanned. So an example of planned group mentoring session would be so we're doing Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. This is when our group meets. Unplanned group mentoring would be, on Wednesday lunchtimes from 12 until 1, we have a group mentoring session on such and such. If you're interested, then please come along. And so there's all the different types of mentoring. So you've started off with technical and pastoral, so the difference between the 2 constructs of mentoring, as it were. And then under that, you've got the domains of mentoring. And so there we start talking about planned and unplanned and group mentoring. Now let's talk about, just very finally, let's talk about, what about when actually you're going to be ending that mentoring relationship? There's 4 different ways that a mentoring relationship might end. First of all, it could be that they change mentors. That actually maybe you've recognised that they would be far better off being mentored by someone that you know, someone in your network. So you signpost them to someone else, to another mentor. And it might be they have several mentors at the same time, but you might find that actually they drop out and they start mentoring with another person. So the second reason could be that their situation changes or their location changes. Maybe they leave wherever you're working, or maybe actually they move somewhere else, for example. And so that can force the end of mentoring. So you've got change of mentor, you've got change of situation or location. The third reason is actually that they've started working with a professional, like for example, a therapist or a counsellor or someone like that. And so here what's happened is actually they've been referred or accessed a professional service. And so between you, you agree with the mentee whether there's a need for your mentoring sessions or not. Now, sometimes there is a need for someone who is having counselling or therapy to also be receiving mentoring in their workplace, for example, or in education or something like that. But what you may find is that it's too much for your mentee. And so this is a conversation to have. And the final reason is that actually it's time to close mentoring. They have no further need. And this is your success. This is because you've done such an amazing job of them. But at this moment in time, they have no further need. Now, as a mentor, I'd always say you never quite close the door. You always just leave it open a slither. But here you've had, maybe you've had feedback from people that are in your mentees' lives. They can tell you, they can report the feedback, they can talk about the behaviours, the different behaviours that they are showing. Maybe they've achieved what they were wanting to achieve through that mentoring. But it's really important that actually, you celebrate that as a success. And so that's the 4 reasons that we've identified that mentoring relationship would come to an end. And so, as I say, it's about a change of mentor, it's about change of situation or location, it's about access to a professional, or finally, it's just closure of mentoring because actually it's been successful. Now, that ends this little video for now. I'm going to join you again in the next video when we're going to be talking about, what is good practice for mentors. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.